this from Town Hall. Again, originally I mentioned it. It was on New York Post where I first read it yesterday. But the Trump administration is preparing to utilize what's called the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And this is to speed up the removal of foreign criminals. So they're not playing when it comes to this stuff. Mahmoud Khalil will eventually be deported. So Trump is reportedly set to invoke this Alien Enemies Act of 1798, and he campaigned on this, by the way. That's to facilitate the mass deportations of illegal immigrants. The president repeatedly vowed to take such action on the campaign trail and after he was elected last year. Now it appears the plan will be set in motion. During his second inaugural address, Trump declared that, quote, by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. How much do you want to bet that Trump just taking the time to speak to the families of Laken Riley, Jocelyn Nangare, had a huge impact on him? The Biden administration never did that. These crimes happened on their watch. They never did that. And frankly, in an indirect way, or perhaps direct because of them, because of this open border crisis that they wanted to go on. And now this news surfaces that the Biden DHS was cooking the books all along to pump up ICE arrests. So not only did the Biden administration lie to you about the economy, lie to you about the border numbers. They were lying all along, lying about the foreign policy, or just ignoring what was happening in Russia, Ukraine. And by the way, Vladimir Putin, Zelensky is impressed with the meetings that occurred with Vladimir Putin. I just saw some news. It was just a little too lengthy to deal with right now on Breitbart. And Putin, it seems like this is headed in the right direction. Putin has not committed to anything yet except negotiations in principle. I think he's trying to buy more time to get more leverage, to be frank with it. And that's why I think that Trump has to put the kibosh on this nonsense and apply full pressure to Vladimir Putin. I think it's time at this particular point. I know he wants a little more territory. Frankly, at this point, I don't give a flip about the history. I care about ending this because there's no objective. Right? Nobody wins here. I mean, millions of people that are dying. This is insane. All right. Thousands by the day, literally. All right. So, but getting back to this DHS deal, Homeland Security Department had to Washington Times officials accuse the Biden administration of cooking the books to falsely pump up immigration arrest numbers by counting illegal aliens who were, they say immigrants, I'm saying aliens, who were caught and released rather than detained and deported. A senior ICE official said more than 2/3 of the arrests that ICE tallied last year were quote unquote enforcement theater, and that illegal aliens were quickly back on the streets. This official said, we found tens of thousands of cases that were recorded as arrests when, in fact, these instances were illegal aliens that were simply processed and released into American communities. The guy's name is Todd Lyons, the new acting director at ICE. He said, or this is who I'm quoting now, he said, quote, the previous administration counted these arrests even though no immigration enforcement action was taken. He said that once numbers are compared more fairly, ICE arrests under Trump will look much better. So far, you have ICE officials have recorded 32,809 interior arrests over nearly 50 days from January 20th to March 10th. And I said that was close to the total of all of 2024 once the quote-unquote pass-through arrests were discounted. I stated that wrong last night. I mentioned this last night, but it was breaking, and so I mentioned it quickly. And basically I said that Trump had already arrested in his short period of time what ICE did under Biden for 4 years. So I was wrong. That was just for 2024. So I want to make sure that I correct that. Among these 1,155 known or suspended gang members, 39 known or suspected terrorists, almost 3 times the rate of the Biden administration. A senior ICE official said the directive to count the pass-through arrests came from Biden's administration's Homeland Security Department, which oversees the agency. So that would have been Alejandro Mayorkas. The official also said the point seemed to be to benefit the illegal immigrants. Once they had an ICE arrest, listen to this, they could use it to show local governments they were in some legal process which often qualified them for services. So even if they were criminals, they could be released. And if they could show, hey, I'm here legally, I'm involved in a legal process, they could get government assistance, your taxpayer dollars. Illegal alien criminals the Biden administration was having you pay for. You guys are so kind. You're so generous. You didn't even know how much. Hey guys, click here to subscribe to the Carl Jackson Show YouTube channel for all of my commentary and latest political analysis. Do not miss an episode. The Carl Jackson Show on YouTube. Subscribe now.